From PTSD to purpose, turning pain into power. The awakening, when you realize your pain holds the key to your purpose. In the chaos of life, it's not always easy to see the silver lining, especially when trauma, fear, and self-doubt cloud your vision. This is the story of someone who, after years of battling PTSD, finally awakened to the truth. Their pain wasn't a life sentence but a catalyst for transformation. Here's how the awakening unfolded and the lessons it holds for anyone navigating their own journey from darkness to light. The illusion of brokenness. For years, they believed their trauma had shattered them beyond repair. PTSD wasn't just a diagnosis, it was an identity. They felt trapped in a cycle of fear, flashbacks, and emotional numbness. Every day was a battle against their mind, their memories, and the weight of what they'd been through. They wore their pain like armor, convinced it was all they'd ever be. But deep down, a small voice whispered, "This isn't the end of your story." At first, it was easy to ignore. The pain was loud, and the voice was quiet. But over time, that voice grew stronger, nudging them toward a truth they couldn't yet see. Their pain wasn't a life sentence, it was a catalyst. The turning point. The awakening didn't happen overnight. It came in moments of clarity, like cracks of light breaking through a dark room. One day, they realized they were tired not of living, but of merely surviving. They were tired of letting their trauma define them. They began to ask themselves, what if my pain isn't here to destroy me? What if it's here to transform me? That question became the spark that lit the way forward. The journey to healing. They started small, taking one step at a time. Therapy became a safe space to unpack the weight they'd been carrying. Journaling became a way to process the emotions they'd buried for so long. They leaned on loved ones, learning to trust again not just others, but themselves. There were setbacks, of course. Healing isn't linear. Some days felt like they were moving backward, but even in those moments, they held onto the belief that their pain had a purpose. Finding purpose in the pain, as they healed, something incredible happened. They began to see their trauma not as a curse, but as a gift. It had taught them resilience, empathy, and a depth of strength they never knew they had. They started sharing their story, not because they had all the answers, but because they wanted others to know they weren't alone. They realized their pain could be a bridge for someone else's healing. The power of transformation. Today, they're not just surviving, they're thriving. Their pain didn't disappear, but it no longer controls them. Instead, it fuels their purpose. They've turned their wounds into wisdom, their scars into strength, and if they can do it, so can you. Your pain doesn't have to be the end of your story. It can be the beginning of something beautiful. Final reflection. The journey from PTSD to purpose isn't easy, but it's possible. It starts with a single step, the decision to see your pain not as a prison, but as a pathway. Your pain holds the key to your purpose. You just have to unlock it.